a lot of time when I'm speaking about businessmen or those ones, like to tell me that I don't know what I'm doing, or that like, is that even gonna work? Because are you focusing on the finances? And then I'm
It's
like,
the voice in me. Welcome to the GenC podcast. I'm Lisandra. With me as always is your favorite man, Diesel, JP Jackson. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, Rizan.
To my favorite audio listener, Lyle.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Brought to you by SHURE. Planetworld, South Africa.
Hey,
what's up?
You sponsor us again.
Who do we have in the middle today, JP?
We have Thania, Koopman.
You almost cooked it.
I almost cooked it.
you got it.
Welcome, Thania.
Thank you for having me.
Before you go on, I just had like a pff moment. Because you must always call him Min Diesel, man.
Yeah.
So now I was thinking of, you must know the cleaning product, Mr. Min. So we should like make like a merch item with like...
Now.
We should make merch with like a JP.
These are great
Mr.
ideas to speak about off camera.
No, it's perfect on camera because of the person we have today. We.
Do you want to email that through to me?
JP, this has all been a setup, JP. I can see.
The audience must keep us accountable for that.
This is going to be a long
What I was gonna say, because what I saw. So I'm Rizan, right?
and I'm JP.
And I'm Lyle. Oh, yeah.
I'm serious. Do you know, like the point was like there, and we missed it. We just and I'm just okay. Firstly, Thania's sister's in the room with us.
Yes.
Just what's happening right now is I'm just trying to show her name is Sarah, by the way, who the real victims are. Just you make your own decision. Be an objective viewer and see who really gets bullied here. Anyway, the point was, I'm Rizan, right? Right, cool. So growing up, it was Rizan. Exactly. It was everything but Rizan, right? Cool. So then I got told, no, it's like, that's too kham. You know what I'm saying? So when I asked Thania, how do I say your name? And she said Thania, I was like, of course. Because I was going to be like, Thania. Because why? I'm too kham. So now the question is,
it's another t-shirt.
Alhamdulillah. So
I'm so glad this is recorded.
Okay, cool. Now we're warm. Okay, so for the viewers, listeners, everyone at home, to the aunties, we'd like to ask the question to the guest. Who is Thania? For 10 marks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I would lie if I said I didn't prepare for this. In terms of that question. Like, we need to be honest. There's normally a question that throws everyone off. Like, we're not taught how to answer that question. We're taught your name, where you're from, what's your phone number. Like that you get taught in junior school. And then, exactly. And then afterwards, you just left to amble in the world. So I made an active quest from last year to figure that equation out. I kept underselling myself. I kept saying, I don't know what I'm doing. So my answer to it now is, I am a multi-passionate business owner. I find a way to navigate the world in a way that's fun for me. And that looks different than what everyone else has told me it looks like.
Yeah.
And every day is a new one. And I like to be fun. I like to have fun, sorry. I am a clown. I tell people this on the regular. And I think life is very serious, so we must laugh through it and find a way through. So, I like to be a glimmer of happiness in the terrible world that we are. That's Thania.
I just want to make a disclaimer. I'm in trouble.
No, it's a safe space. It's a
Exactly.
safe space. It's a safe space.
I'm gonna cry.
Which is a good thing.
But that sounds like you had time to unpack a few things.
Oh,
like, how did
Wait,
you-
so you know what's about to happen? Do you know what's about to happen?
No.
No.
Okay.
No,
Nah,
no.
Jay. Okay, so
No,
Jay,
there
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
There isn't anything.
Fine,
I
just
thought
let it
it's a
happen.
safe space.
I
It
can't.
is.
We didn't give her that disclaimer.
No, so
We didn't give her that disclaimer.
you grew up in
Pinelands.
Pinelands,
Lovely.
and you went to Rustenburg Girls, right?
For high school,
High
yes.
school. How was that experience like when when you, like you mentioned, are a clown and trying to discover yourself through the world?
Uh-huh.
Or did you feel like that had a bit of a role to play in how you thought you perceived yourself at the time?
I think before, I didn't own the clown status. I thought it was a bad thing to be like fun. I thought it was like you're supposed to take life seriously, like all of that. But my internal monologue is really just she drops one-liners that are just like, you shouldn't say that. So for me, it was something I had to hone in. I often found myself where I was different. Before Rustenburg, and I think my story starts before that. I went to Mickelfield, which from growing up in Pinelands to going to the schools that I did, it was often highlighted to me from young, the differences that I have that people who look like me don't. It molded the way I speak. It molds the way I look at the world. And before I felt that very heavily. And you're all right, I had to go face some demons and unpack it to find a way to present that in a different way. That's not heavy for me because these are blessings. It isn't something that I actively went on like to tackle the world. It's what I'd be given. And I didn't want that sort of negative. I don't know if any of that makes sense.
No, it does. And I think it's because the reason why I'm asking the question, because when you do get put in sort of a system, you start thinking like the system, you start having the expectations that the system puts on. And the way you phrased it was as if you came to terms that system actually isn't me. And I think that's what I was alluding to, because the places that you're mentioning, Mickelfield, Rustenburg, these are all structured and design and design in a way to again bring the best out of people and it has done for years. But it doesn't work for everybody, right?
No, it doesn't. And I think this is where I say being a little sister, it does play into it. Like it becomes a part of like how you tackle life. I'm blessed to come from a family of hard workers, to come from people who do not allow other people to dictate how they take on the world. And when you're a younger sibling, the standards are there before you walk into the room.
Set by the assistant parent.
And set by the main parents also. Like the assistant parent is just listening to what's happening up top. So there was a lot of times. So like an example is being a prefect was something I wanted to achieve and do because my big sister was a prefect. The difference between us is that she's very rules orientated and I'm there for the fun. I'm like, it's really Black Cat and Golden Retriever. And for me, like the example is she was known as the rules prefect, right? Yo. And then 7 years later, I made it to prefect, but they put me as head of entertainment. And that then, it shows. And I was happy with it because that is me. I like to be in spaces where I can make a difference, but where I'm trying to make the difference is culturally. It's where I'm trying to make everyone feel safe because I've always been in spaces where the system didn't meet what I was wanting to put out. And so, yeah.
Cindy's hands in trouble.
No. Listen, that was interesting. Oh, sorry. I have so many places to go, but like not all of them are safe. What I do want to do is like do a bit of an ad break and ask you the question: what's your beef with birds, and do you still dislike pigeons?
Yo.
you know what? Honestly, it's something I'm trying to work on. It's something I'm trying to work on, but why do you guys know that?
We swapped it over.
Yeah. What is my beef with birds and pigeons? I went to UCT.
Yo.
So
Speak about
Yo.
it.
I experienced a lot of like my lunch getting just stolen. Like I was just sitting and minding my business. But then like before that, I went to Rustenburg and there are a lot of birds. The guinea fowls that are going at cars. Birds are like a little bit unpredictable. And then pigeons, I categorize them as rats from the sky because they don't know boundaries.
Certified tea.
So yeah, that's my and also like you can't control them. If they're busy like flapping everywhere, then like how do you get no. So meat birds, no.
UCT birds is of a different caliber. I feel like they have 2 doctorates
Exactly.
in the game. They know the angle to swipe. You don't even see them, yet they're right in front of you. It's just the
and not all of them have all appendages also. Like if you sit and like look at them, then you're just like there's so much going on. So now,
Someone should do like a study on it. Like comparing them to the...
There is no study to be done. They are a designated breed that the Lord created to terrorize the steppes of UCT.
thank you.
And I think we should respect them for what they are, but we don't need to like it.
No,
And I think that's all I'll say about the birds at the steps.
Thank you.
Oh.
we had cats at UWC.
Oh my goodness. They were like the mafia, man.
Yeah, so I had a joke at all the cats
Hey yo, fit kid.
to the left.
I was trying to say UWC.
That's racist. Anyway, so I used to make a joke that all the cats are studying sports science because where was that building?
Yeah.
Like it was like in a rookie somewhere.
Yeah.
And like there's just cats in the
If you know, you know.
100%. If you know, you know, because you just see like a random cat and you just see a random person studying sports science.
Correlation high.
Yeah, you'll never see this. I'm done.
Cause and effect.
Okay, coming back to being multi-passionate.
It's okay.
I feel sometimes.
It's okay.
Passionate.
Passion.
Hey, you got it.
Yeah. So before then, there was a single passion. I imagine. Maybe it was the wrong one. But I'm curious, what was it? Like, what was the pursuit before you became this person?
I think I've always been this person. In the sense that school was never from 8 until 3. So sometimes it was from junior school, it would be early morning tennis and I'm at the courts at like 7:30. And then after school, I did piano and guitar as an instrument. So that's where like time would be. So a lot of what I've done now, it was kind of looking back at like, what are my basics? Okay. If I'm to go back to basics, what is my basics and what made me happy? So I think that multi-passionate thing has always been there. Like even when I was at school was like the part-time, but I was head of the catering society and like in different spaces like that, coming home at 6, 7 o'clock at the end of the day was normal. Whether it was healthy, how I was running after everything is what I later in life came to like turn around. But that point of the multi-passionate has been there since like little.
So what did you end up studying at UCT?
At UCT, I first started with a B.Biz Sci. And then later that year, I moved down to a BCom. And then what was my first big failure in life is I got academically excluded. And it was, I think, the best thing that happened to me in hindsight now. Turbulent as hell at that point. But it definitely helped me post, because at when I got academically excluded, I thought life was going to be over. How am I going to get a job without anything? So I went just into like hustle culture, just like, I can do anything, and just spreading time over everywhere. But then I went to UNISA after that, and that was a mirror for me that it wasn't necessarily my skills, it was the system that I was in. So again, my whole journey has kind of been exposure to systems that don't work for me. And now at the latter point, trying to take all the different parts that work for me and kind of make my own ecosystem.
So not to bring you back to that time, but I'm sure there's quite a few people that face that that roadblock where they get academically excluded. And there's for a lot of reasons why that could happen, right? Situation, circumstance, all sort of things. But that was not the end. So just talk us about, if you don't mind, when that happened, how did you then find the system that works for you?
Oh, process of elimination, if I'm very honest. I think something I needed to hear at that time, I had gone to a student advisor at that point, because I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know. And a mirror he held up for me was that you're one of many who fall off the wagon. You're one of many that go to this, that are part of the system that's not catered for. You all come in as a busload, and some people make it to the end, a lot don't. And like you say, it's for all of those different reasons. I think your question was, where did it go after that? Sorry.
Yeah.
From there, like
how did
I
you
said,
pick it up?
How did I pick it up? I had to learn that me being good at learning wasn't defined by a number at the end of a semester or by a DP mark or something like that. I mean, I wrote one exam where for ecos, I needed to get 80% in the final exam with negative marking. Yeah. And I did it. I got it. Which I think that little thing from that was like, if I could do 80% for a negative marking, I'm smart. It's not a question of if I'm smart or not. It's that I need that system. And then from there, like I said, just hustling. I started tutoring. I started doing a whole lot of things. And I think if you are feeling heavy about it, just own it. Own it. You're going to keep failing. It's a part of life. You're always going to fail. It may be a meeting you fail at. It may be something else, but just keep going.
I just want to quickly just confess. The reason why I'm like struggling here is because what you are saying is so like surreal for me, man. We just had an episode where we spoke about the system disincentivizing failure. And it was like, so now I'm just sitting like, yo. Because someone commented, resign processing that phrase in real time. And I'm like, because wow. Yeah, I'm saying, and here you are just like coming back to me like, remember the thing you learned last time? Me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's I'm just like, whoa, this is it's crazy. And then obviously then you are a business owner, an entrepreneur of sorts. And that is a system where you are almost like encouraged to fail. And so we also had a guest on who spoke about self-actualizing through entrepreneurship. And it sounds like something that you've also I'm like, damn. That's how I'm like, what is going on in my brain right now? Okay, so coming back to, I actually want to talk about the examples that you've followed while simultaneously maintaining the original story, original actor that is Thania. So
can we unpack that?
Yeah.
So what are you wanting from me?
So like for example, like your sister, your mom, your dad, like what examples were they, and were they like people that you were trying to emulate, or were you just always like, I don't want to be like that, I'm going to be like me?
I think I've always been a bit different.
Okay.
I think I've always been a bit different. How I approach life, how I do things has always been different. My parents had a thing that they always reminded me of, equal or better. And they said that equal very high. So my dad had an MBA. My mother has her master's in social work. My lovely big sister over there has her honors in journalism. And so when that email came through that said, you've been, what is the word? I just used it now.
Academically.
That one. When you've just been academic, there was this whole thing of like, letting them down also because of that. I think I've gone completely south from what you're asking.
No.
Okay.
100% answering my question.
Okay, perfect. I need a gauge check in
It's just his hand space.
No. Need you listening. Yeah. So I think those things that there's, for me, there was the thing of there is merit in what they've done because there's tangible results of it. But it was, I think for me, it's always been the thing of how do I make that for me?
Yeah.
They didn't always agree with it.
Yeah.
And like my mother, very recently, my mom is very active in the counseling space and she's helping a lot of people through the corporate struggles that come with it and being a person in the corporate space. And one of her biggest mirrors that she's come to me now, which I never thought my mother would say the words of, is a degree is maybe not the only way of learning. And a degree is maybe with this new way that we're going, like, look at what you're doing and look at what other people are doing. And like, she came to me about 4 days ago and she said, I never ever want you to tell me that you don't have a degree again, because that doesn't mean anything. In the current climate of where we're going, it doesn't mean anything. So I think it was maybe blurry before, but now when you've come out on the other end, it's like, oh, I can say, this part of my day is influenced by my dad and how he did things. This part of my day is influenced by my sister and how she tackles that. Whenever I'm going to a public space or those things, I do emulate my sister. She has a phenomenal way of carrying herself. My mom as well. Very blessed with the support system that I have. And I think that's the important thing. You need to look at the people who have influenced who you are. But even if it takes you a year to figure out who you are, that needs to be your lifeline so that you can mend and weave everything else together.
I just want to also emphasize that equal or better, but the equal was set very high.
That is a bar.
That was a bar. That was crazy.
That was a bar.
Shout out to the assistant there. So just on that, my and a lot of my parents' generation always saw the degree as knowledge. Whereas, because the degree was the access, it allowed you to enter the room. In this age, it's about the knowledge and actioning the skill that you have acquired. It doesn't necessarily mean that piece of paper.
Correct.
And I think how we approach that is through connecting with businesses that provide that service. Because we don't ask the same question of a business that we ask of the person to do the same thing. We don't ask the business, do you have the qualification to do this thing? Which is the business's qualification or the right to be able to do is through what they've done before. You see them do this a few times and now you know they can do that. As people, we can also do that. If you are able to do something a few times and people see it, you do it a few times. They know that you can do it now. And without that piece of paper.
Sorry to interject, but like, I think something that is very important is that I'm not, and I think I've had to explain this to a lot of people. I'm not negating. There are some fields that require you to have such a foundational knowledge base that is what you need to go and do. But I think especially if you're interested in different and evolving spaces, it's just learning about the crux of the matter, learning where you're lacking. And learning doesn't need to be a certificate at the end of it. It can be a day that is dedicated to sitting and watching that topic on YouTube, listening to educated, high-level conversation, but also listening to the lay people speaking about the same topic. And I think the focus for me changed when I changed education as this tick box for that access to what do I need to learn to be in the spaces that I want to be in. And that then pivotally changed everything because I then no longer had a cap on myself. Even if I'm walking into a space and saying, hi, I've got 3 hours. Can I just be on set with you guys? Or can I just learn what you're doing? There's something in that you can take out and move over.
guys. Again, that's me. Okay, so I want to unpack 3 things, guys. It's resigned 3 things.
Upgrade. Resigned to.
Okay, so number 1, I want to just make a disclaimer that I'm in no means discrediting, coming after, or like trying to shame your upbringing, right? That's all. Just disclaimer. Okay, cool. That was your first system, it sounds like. That was the first system that you realized did not work for you. And it took you a bit of time to come to terms with that. That is the system that like I needed to separate from. And that's why you're able to recognize I've always been different. And I recognize this because we kind of, a lot of the times, have it the opposite way, where we are surrounded by people that are not successful and we have to navigate success like the traditional way or our own way. And at the same time, even though you've experienced the opposite of that, you've also experienced the exact same thing. So coming back to the pursuit of passion, talk about how that has sort of like revived and kept you going. That's the first thing I want to ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the pursuit of passion came because I stopped my passion.
Yeah.
So
You took a break from dancing for 10 years, apparently. Sorry.
Yes. Yes.
That's the mugs.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
professionals.
Yes. That is my first passion, actually. And I think what's very funny about my dancing story is that I danced from the age of 3 to 16 or 17. And the only people that saw me perform, I was in Stedfords. I was in I was in different shows and things, but the only people who ever saw me perform was my mom, my dad, and my sister.
Okay.
I didn't like anyone seeing me. I hated the eyes on me. I would dance with my glasses off because I'm legally blind. So if I take these things off, I can't see anything. So my notion was, if I can't see them, I can't see me. And this is phenomenal.
object
Correct. So I memorized my stage and I would dance, but it was always just for me. If friends wanted to see, if aunts wanted to see, no, I don't do that. Yeah. It was my space. But I also found that when I left dance, I left my creative process. I didn't realize that's what a dance class was. I didn't realize it was my outlet. I didn't realize it was my somatic system getting a nice little jig in the craziness of life. And it was then in 2022, my dad passed and my dad got sick and I needed something. I needed like my safe space.
Yeah.
And I think you become used to that being a class when you've grown up. Because if things are chaotic at home, you go to your class. Like there's a stability that stays there. And I didn't have a stability during that time. Okay. I had work, but work comes with its fair share of turbulence. So I didn't have that space of like, I just want to go be at the back of the class. Some days I want to be just forgetting about it. Other days I want to be fully immersed. So I ventured into a dance studio. And dance then became my heal again. And that's where I think passionately, it made me really happy. I think something that's always made me sad about the dance industry is that it's a space where many want to be in, but it's not sustainable in the quote unquote real life. It's very fun and good for you to do, but like, other people don't take it seriously. A lot of growing up, especially in the spaces that I was in outside of school, dance isn't a sport. Dance isn't real. Like, what? You just doing this. I'm like, yeah, that just is hours upon hours of rehearsal, dress rehearsals, that week of performance, you're giving your utmost. Like, you as an entity means nothing. You are part of that ensemble or you are part of that team. And I think that's something that hurt me. I did aptitude tests when I was younger and I to be a dancer. And I had my parents with the high standards that they said saying, that's not sustainable. That's not sustainable. Yeah. How are you going to do that? And at that point, it's soul destroying. because it's like the one thing that's your savior. You're like, I really want to go do this thing. And then they're like, I'm sorry, how are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to do this? And then there's also that part where you must swallow it and say, they're right. There's a part where you're like, how? So that passion was like, I think that for dance, I was like, how do I make every day feel good and that I'm still getting the sustenance? I'm not going to lie to anyone. It doesn't mean that every month I have a stable income. I don't. And I've just chosen what is happiness for me. Unfortunately, it's not money. And I say unfortunately because it makes it difficult to exist in the system and in the world. If I could work on a barter system in life, I would be so happy. A lot of time when I'm speaking about businessmen or those ones like to tell me that I don't know what I'm doing, or that like, is that even going to work because are you focusing on the finances? And then I'm like,
the voice in me.
but then I'm like, good sir, we have different drive points. We really have different drive
KPIs.
points. Exactly. And my KPI
Different
is...
AKRs. Different KPIs. Sorry.
So for me, that I think that maybe, I don't know if that's...
No, cooked.
No.
Before
Tried.
I go on to point number 2, JP, I feel like did anything resonate with you there?
No, because I think I wanted to exist how it is. Because I think what you are describing... No, it did resonate with me, guys. I'm just talking about the anything to add. That's what Rizan's asking. Just to bring it back. Anyways, I'm doing this dual player, just so by the way, this JP incarnate that's happening here. That's and
That's
like,
I didn't sleep last night. Okay.
So what I was getting to is that I think it's important that you set that KPIs. You are the one that needs to set what is good for you, because, like you said, to your point, you're not driven by money. That might not work for someone else,
Correct.
right? And it's important that whatever is important to you, that is what is driving you. Because I think a lot of the times we put the expectations of others as our driving points. When whether it's something, a car, a house, a certain lifestyle that we think that is what we want. But in actual fact, life is about discovering what is yours. What is driving you? What do you want to achieve? And that doesn't mean that everyone becomes an entrepreneur, right? It doesn't mean that everybody has that yacht or has the mansion. But if your drive is to have a tight-knit family, food on the table, go and watch your kids every weekend, because the sacrifices associated with that level of life is not necessarily what you want. And I think as part of life, it's about discovering what is driving you and setting that KPI for yourself. Because even for me, a lot of what I do now as an adult is driven by the type of life that I want to live, not necessarily the money that I can generate from that life. Because my profession is very lucrative. I'm not even gonna do, like, if you take it on, you can get the money that you want. But I've also seen the sacrifice it takes to get that. And if you are in a rush to get there, you are going to miss a lot. So for me, I didn't want to miss a lot. So I'm fine with taking some time. I'm fine with not getting there now. But I want to enjoy my now.
Ma'am, do you want to respond to
Do you have anything to add?
I do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just let it flow. Because my questions are gonna.
Sorry.
It's gonna just.
Thank you for giving us the space.
It's gonna fit in. Like, don't worry. I'm gonna make it work.
I think just the focus that you have on the you aspect is so pivotal. Like when we say KPIs, a KPI for me is having a day in my week where I do nothing. Where there's no flourish. They can be requests. And I always ask for the understanding from my clients. I am a one-woman show. So from editing of reels and capturing all that content and going down, that's just the marketing. And so in my day, there are certain things where, or in my week, my KPIs look different. And it was weird for me to accept because my KPIs used to be attaining this level and executing this. Now my KPIs, they are a bit softer. And I've had to learn how to be softer on myself. That also, and like you're saying, that taking long or taking longer, I think that's also the thing. Because one big thing I had going into the business space, I was so used to having a manager, having someone who is tracking all of these things, that I actually needed to go and sit down with my occupational therapist, who's like a coach for how to navigate these things. And for the first time, I've set attainable goals because my goals for my brand are not overnight success. My goals are, what is my why that gets me there? This could take 5 years. This could take 10. But like you say, the sacrifices, I have cut myself off, not in a negative way with the correct like communication with everyone, but I socialize a lot less. Everything that like when your spending comes down, it's, are you going to put it to your business or are you going to put it to, so it's everything becomes very, you need to be critical about those things. And I think what you're saying there is focusing on what you are wanting in that whole thing, because it's very easy to fall into what other people want for you when actually they may not know what the interconnectivity of your system is.
So now we give the opportunity to our co-host, Mr. Rizan Rose. Welcome to the podcast.
I told you like before you came here that I'm a big fan of yours. Because
Interesting.
Sorry?
I find that interesting.
Oh.
Only because, and I do want to preface this before you continue. When I started making content, it was to break that thing that I said where I didn't dance. I danced and people didn't see me.
Okay.
So it was to break the thing of being seen,
Oh,
right?
damn.
So I started even making videos because I couldn't journal. Like I had so much going on here that I said to my creator, like, you wanted me to journal, but I'm like getting 5 pages in. I'm annoyed. I'm on thought 10 here. You wanting me to write down by page 5. And she's like, okay, try recording yourself. And it was through that I wanted to change the way I saw myself. So I had a bit of a full circle weird moment when you're like, I'm a fan of yours. I'm like, it's the moment of being seen. Like I use my social media as like a scrapbook.
Okay.
Like it's a scrapbook. It's a little memory thing. If you go into my Instagram, you'll find me as a prefect. And like, it's really just my memory bank. And I forget that other people watch this. So that's why I say it's weird when you're like, oh, I'm a fan. I'm like, thank you. But it's a bit strange. So yeah, it's not you that's strange. It's just the whole process of that. I don't know if that makes sense.
I mean, you said what you said. As a resident weirdo, it's giving. Oops. Now it's giving you from what's it? Joe Koopman. I mean, that's fine.
That's what we were going, but okay.
That's fine. That's okay. The point I was trying to make. So I'm the anti-capitalist of the show. I feel like the system sucks.
Yeah.
And to watch you like literally sort of live authentically, break away from the pursuit to pursue your own, I guess, existence in such a passionate way. That's what I'm a fan of. So it's like, oh, if I could be that free type thing. That's what it is, if I may.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So it's not from like a traditional, this person is. No. You are excellent in who you are.
Thank you.
Yeah. You are like if we were to get an award for how much Rizan I am right now versus how much Thania you are like 110% Thania. And I'm like 30% Rizan. That's where it comes from. Wow. I'm trying to be like you, Mama. Okay.
And it's crazy. Sorry, it's crazy that you spoke about just having the recording and breaking that barrier. But indirectly, you're breaking barriers for
You're
the people
setting me
that's
free.
watching you.
You're setting me free.
Wow, it's really humbling. Like it genuinely is, because I think we often become so like consumed by our own struggle and our own journey and like trying to unwind it.
Yeah.
That when someone else says that, like, oh, we've been now geared to be like, oh, imposter. I'm not supposed to be that person, Rizan. I'm not supposed to be this one that you like.
voice.
That you.
That's so good.
That's so good.
Imposter accents.
I love it.
But there's so much of that. And I think for me, this is like I call them mirror moments, because I think it's so important that we look into the moments that make you go like, wow, because like, oh, I wanted to be that person. Every day you are somewhat that person.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's been that, because one day I went to a dance class and someone who was in the dance class had heard me speak about mental health. Again, there was a video that I didn't want to put out. It was a video that actually behind the scenes I edited, showed my mom, and my mom clicked the button that she wasn't supposed to click. And then it went to a story on TikTok, but now I lost the whole. There was so much going on. And then in like motherly spirit, she's like, no, it's so good, you must do it. So I had to make like other edits on it, but it wasn't
That's
for
funny.
me. I wasn't going to put this thing out.
That's damn funny.
And then I was on my own quest of, no, heal yourself. I'm in a dance class. One I've not been in a while, and it was a hip hop class as well. I'm a ballerina, like I'm a contemporary dancer. I'm all about feelings. Put me into a hip hop class, my body feels like it shouldn't be moving in that way. So I'm already like overthinking at the back. And this girl comes up to me and she's like, "Oh, it's you." I was like, "Hi, hello." She's like, "You're on TikTok," and I was like, "Yes." And then she's like, "You spoke about mental health. Thank you so much." And it was, again, a humbling moment like this of, like you're saying.
I look like she's being confronted by this person.
And in the whole class, I couldn't focus because I'm just thinking, this girl knows me. I wanted to just run out. And I was like, no, be present, ma'am. And I think that's the thing, is that it is strange. This is it's weird living authentically out loud.
Yeah.
Is because when people come to you and they're like, oh, I'm taking a leaf out of your book and I'm just doing this. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize I was doing that. So is there a bit of a moment like that sometimes? But yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't know if I'm making it.
No, it's because you're making complete sense. That's why it's so funny. That's funny because it's true. Okay, so the second thing I'm about to say is wild. Okay. Yo, like, stop me. Okay, so I've been confronted with this idea of like, what happens when your safety net starts to strangle you?
Yo.
And it's a question of like, the systems that are there to support you no longer serve that function.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to find a new safe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that
Sorry,
episode...
Rizan, I didn't hear that the first time. Just the Bluetooth device. Just say that quickly. Yeah.
Which part? Because
The safety.
That's good. The clip now.
The safety net that supports you.
Oh, what happens when
it's
your
so
safety
strangled.
net strangles you?
Oh.
Yeah. So the reason why, because I resonate with this, and it's not like it's a very nuanced thing. It is a very, very nuanced thing. In that, for example, your parents will hit you with, but you have a roof over your head. But you have you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, the roof in your head caved, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And so, hectic. And so, wow. Going into point number 2, because I'm like not going to ask a question on that. That was just like a postulating. Coming back to now the whole structure of pursuing a degree, right? So I said that, right, with the whole safety net premise, right? The pursuit of a degree is not just for who we are as South Africans. It's also to get access to leave the country. It is also to because we spoke about networking. We spoke about all these different things. And so there's this thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? We've seen it, right? And what's been really interesting about this is that it's a theory, which means that it doesn't necessarily work for everybody. And I think, and you can speak to this, and this is going to be the question on how to phrase it, but like we all feel like it has to be like survival first, then belonging, then all this different stuff. And it feels like you've flipped the pyramid a little bit.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
And so picturing that pyramid, what has been the most important needs that you've pursued? What has been the avenues of safety that you've pursued? Knowing that the degree is now off the table. How have you pursued that safety? That's the question.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I think, it's a very folded question. I think that. Can you crack at it again? Like
because I can help you. I can help you, for example. So I recently lost a job, got a job, left a job. While it was happening, I was burnt out. And it's like this way, like, because I'm burnt out, I know that I need rest. But I'm like burnt out in a way that I need psychological support as well. But I can't afford that if I don't have a job. So now you're just like, you're confronted with that conundrum. And you have to make that puzzle work.
Yes.
Right? And so you play a different game at this point in time. And does that help?
I think yes, it does. Okay. So I needed to admit that I didn't know how to run my system. Burnout was an indication to me that I didn't do things correctly. And you need to also take a little bit of accountability in that space.
Yeah.
And I think I said it earlier on where I said the way I was doing things from young, of being in every space and doing everything, like it maybe was a bit untapped. And I think linking to, you said, how do you like not get your support system to strangle you? And I think it all goes hand in hand in that boundaries become very important. Your support system wants nothing but the best for you. Even when they are fighting with you, 100%. They want nothing but the best for you. They want you to succeed.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it's because they see so much. It's because that, and your perspective and their perspective are clashing. So for me, it was admitting that, and like there was that part, and I think most pivotal, and where it maybe comes across as the approach was upside down Maslow, right? But the approach was actually, I'm flat out. So when I was burnt out, I was going weeks without eating sometimes. I was not sleeping. I wasn't able to function or stay awake for like a whole day. I was having to focus on the small things. So if I took my medication in the morning, I was having a dance party. So it was this flipping of the Maslow's triangle was more focusing on one step at a time. On one day, it may have meant that it was just getting out of bed. On another day, it was a big thing like coming to speak about something. So that journey was very different, but I needed to accept that I didn't know how to do it. I needed to reach out to those around me and say, I don't know what I am doing. I may look like I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I needed to swallow pride because there's a lot that comes with it. And then I needed an OT to like tell me about my time blindness, to tell me about things that I didn't know about my system. I am neurospicy. I am neurodivergent. And it was learning about what does that mean in the greater ecosystem. So if I have this, how do I, so in one of your previous episodes that you guys had with Dr. Chad, where the question in seminar was about what notification system would you want? And your answer was around mental. You'd want to know like, what is that signal? And then how would you like translate it? Going to an OT helped me with that. So now it helped me to dub, do I actually have anxiety in this present moment? Or are all the systems checked? Have I slept properly? Have I eaten properly? Because my body is susceptible to these things. I needed to learn what is my system, what is the external system that I need to exist in. I can't say that I'm not going to work for how many years and whatever. These things are set. So it was more looking at that. And I think that's why it's a bit confusing for me to answer the Maslow thing, because that was the actual approach from that way than the other way.
Answer the question perfectly.
The direct quote is crazy.
Are we?
But like, can we just speak about your business?
There we go. Yeah.
So Flourish,
Yes.
right? Which we have some branded mugs.
To the audio listeners. Say my name, say my name.
So tell us about it.
Mm-hmm.
What does it offer? How did so there's so many ideas in your mind. How did you put it to paper and let it run?
Because there were so many ideas, I needed a name that could carry. Flourish for me was a space where even if someone wants to be negative and say flourish, you can't. Like the word itself just brings positivity and goodness, even for the naysayers. And that was my thing. I also knew in business, you're gonna fail so much. I like dabbled in business things growing up. So I would bake cakes all the time. And I'd do things, but they'd never come to fruition. Like they'd always been like just there. So it's like, okay, I want a space where I can do all the things that I want to do and I can fail, but it's going to be part of the process. And like, so that's where Flourish. And I went with the thing of how do I fail forward? Because I'm going to fail. And that's fine. So if that's what it is, and at the point, I'm a team player, which is very ironic because I've chosen a workspace that's very singular. But I'm a team player, so I like to help people. Like when I was in my 9 to 5, I would be helping people with other things that's not just my KPI. The KPIs were there, but so that I could go do those other things. So I was like, how do we find a way of making that a business? And with the different interests that I have, I was just like, if I put any word after Flourish, it's a business line. So when I started off and getting the name out there was Flourish Eats and Treats. But that required so much time of mine. I had to be in the kitchen and doing all of that. So that's now gone to the back burner. So it also is a space where I don't see anything as a negative failure. If I really want to go bake cakes again, I'll just be like, Flourish Eats is open again. So it was kind of a way of like, how do I monetize my interests? So I started off with... monetizing interest, but also how do I use the spaces and the privileges that I've been afforded? How do I use that to help someone else? I've been in spaces and I was afforded education opportunities where I developed soft skills very early on. I grew up with technology as it grew. I depleted my family's ADSL with YouTube when it just started. Like, I was that person where they were quietest. Why don't we have any more data? Oops. Why
does the phone not work anymore?
Yes. And it's because at that point we didn't have uncapped. It was different things like that. So having grown up while all of these technologies have had its own evolution, I'm able to see that what I think that everyone knows, not everyone knows, and how to bridge that gap. So with Flourish Communications, I focus a lot on helping individuals with CVs and presenting themselves in a way that's powerful. A lot of people haven't been taught about those soft skills. I then have Flourish Learning, which is tutoring based. And so many kids are disinterested in learning. And it's not necessarily that they don't want to learn, it's the manner in which. And so finding interesting ways for them to connect. I don't have the capacity to stand in front of a whole class of students, but it's always in the different space of finding where that meeting point is. And then there's Flourish Customs, where I love having fun. And this is a way of taking fun designs and making them into reality. And then last but not last but not least is Flourish Wellness, because the main thing I needed throughout the whole of everything post-burnout was focusing on my body, paying attention to where I had let that go, and learning about things that we have in the system but have never been told. And I had a lot of, throughout my health journey, I had a lot of just getting told to take medication, take this to help me. And then it was just a thing of looking at wellness differently. So with Flourish Wellness, I've now gone into reflexology and lymphatic drainage and looking at making that, of educating people on what your system is, how your system is built, and the different ways that you can be living in a system that may not be set out for you and that may be strangling you.
Guys, I'm in trouble again. Okay, so let's quickly flex on Flourish Customs. So who? Because damn, that was I can't have just too much of me.
He's only designed 2 things, Rose. Anything more than 2 things.
Thanks, guys. Firstly, thank you for sharing. Because at least we can look back. We can rewind and be like, okay, there was Flourish.
Askies.
Thank you so much for the mugs. Let's start there. This is adorable. I feel like the freedom, the opportunity to create something so free, if you will. And that's again coming back to like, this is why I'm a fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's actually, it's crazy. So coming to Flourish Customs, who are your customers and how can people sort of like find you and how can people get in touch with you? Yeah.
So my customers, they vary. And I think that's the interesting thing about the Flourish brand is because there are different business lines. People who wouldn't normally touch another business line now do because I'm like a one-stop shop. So it ends up being like easier for them.
Okay.
Flourish Customs was actually something that I didn't choose. It chose me. And I know that sounds very funny. How it started is that I was doom scrolling on the cricket/cry cut side of life and how people were cutting things, and like it was very fascinating.
That's right.
It's very, very fascinating. It's how I learned and got into like printing. I knew nothing before this. I knew how the Canon printer worked, and that was it. Like, but I didn't know anything on this level. And one day in one of my work groups, someone was selling an old machine that they'd bought at Comic-Con and they'd never used. And I was like, I aggressively messaged this person. They're like, hi, can I? And they were like, yeah, come take this off my hands. And they just said to me, well, you have to make something. I didn't make anything with this. So if I'm going to give it to someone, you have to make something. In true overachiever style, next day, had the product done. It wasn't even for anything. Had it done because I was so excited. And I was like, okay. And they were like, oh, you took this very seriously. That's what I do. A couple weeks in, and I also just speak a lot to people. So if something really excites me, I'm like, did you see? No. So then one of my colleagues is like, you can make t-shirts. I can. Like, yeah, you have that machine. I was like, oh, I can. And then they just started sending me designs. And then I was like, oh, I'm doing this. Me, YouTube, TikTok, how-to videos of like what. And then December rolled around. That was around about like June, July. December rolled around. And it was me and this small machine with so many orders, which was a blessing. But it was this thing where my word of mouth carried too far. And there was only one person running the ship. Yeah. And it was after these, like, because festive time also. So now this one's having a braai. And I overcommitted so much that I had a little basket in my bag, in my car, that had my machine. It had all my products. So as I was visiting different people, I'd be sitting and like weeding and things. So, and then my sister asked me the nice question the one day is, how do we level up? How do we level up and how do we take this like
the rules prefix.
you see,
How do we
you
level
see, and then I went, this is why you need an older sister.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they say it first, it hits me
Yeah.
But
It's always,
then
and it's always
afterwards
right.
you're
It's
like,
so annoying.
You see, as an older brother. So, but then like you sit back and you're like, there's some merit in it because did I enjoy sitting me by myself with that? No. And that's how I got into it. And so when you say like, how do you reach out? You just pop me a message and tell me what your idea is. What's very interesting is that I think traditionally and these days we're told like, if you have a business, get a website. And there was so many things in this business venture where I'm like, okay, a website is great and all, but I can't maintain that. And getting someone else to maintain that is a lot. So I stick to Google Forms, which then takes to my own system at the back of it, and WhatsApp. And I'm still and I think my main message is that I am a small business with one person. And I think that's the boundary that I hold very high, because if I don't, then other people's emergencies become my emergencies too much. And they believe that their emergencies are far higher than mine because they're paying me. And because I am their service giver, but I think, or service provider, sorry. But my thing is that just because I am providing you with a service, you need to be very mindful that I am a small business. Be very mindful if something comes in like this, for example. This didn't fall part of my schedule that I had to make. And I don't mean that in a I knew that was going to happen. But like, you don't anticipate, because I found myself prepping for this talk because I've never asked myself these questions in this way until someone else is now going to ask you. So I think that is the main thing, is that I'm a one-man show. And that's it.
I didn't want to say this.
You
but
can say
forgive me. You are a big business in a small business body.
Man. Gosh. Tiny body.
We're not going to reference that her feet is not touching the ground. No. We are at 50% capacity.
I like to call it fun size.
Because I don't know about JP, but like my
feet have touched the ground for a while.
Must be nice.
Wasn't what I was going to say.
Wait.
I knew that. What the hell is LeBron James? Now, what I was going to say is that like, you're the potentially crazy.
Yeah.
That's my brain. And I'm like, oh, okay, I've been influenced. It's giving, I'm going to send you a message after the recording.
Yeah.
It's giving chill out.
Yeah.
It's giving boundaries.
Yeah. Obviously, yes.
That's
We know
this
where
wasn't
you
part of
stand.
the schedule.
Yeah.
So, on the show.
So thank you. On the show, we do like to play this game. It's a series of hypothetical questions,
excited, JP.
and it's a
Like,
game we
oh,
like to call Say My Now. Right? So, have you ever been involved in a Say My Now before?
I've patiently anticipated being a part of this one.
Don't make us cry. Say My Now. You could hire any fictional character as your business partner.
Oh, God.
Who would it be and why?
Wrong answers only. Please.
Deadpool.
You.
Okay.
Great for marketing. You will violate too many labor laws.
Yeah.
But yeah, excellent. You will bring results.
That's it.
Do you want me to answer?
No, the first one that came to mind, and maybe wrong answer, only is Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
Number one, Winnie the Pooh has always been motivation for me.
Okay,
Number one.
okay.
Number two, you always need someone to keep you like focused on sustenance. Man's got that down.
Yeah.
You need someone who, in the thick of things, is going to provide you with like wisdom, just one-liners that are ambiguous that it stops you enough to be like, huh? And he's besties with Piglet, which means he can handle my 510 questions that are going to come.
I just have to ask, has she ever called you Winnie the Pooh?
Double
Because in Netherlands, I thought she was piglet. God damn. Okay. Okay. So firstly, I have two answers because I designed to do this.
I mean, valid.
First one, Didi from Texas Laboratory. Like, need I say more?
No.
Do I need to? No. Cool. Second one is Pinky from Pinky and the Brain. Because the one time they let Pinky take over the planning.
Yeah.
Okay, president.
Yeah.
Fix the world economy.
He did everything.
Bruh, failing forward, man. Come on now. In the comments, please tell us if you could have a business. Have a fictional character. Who would you want to be on your business
I
team?
love Pinky. It's great.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you want to? You haven't read one in a while.
No, that's the whole stick of the show is that I don't read. Come on now, dog. I'm just grateful that I get to play.
Ooh. Same now, world peace required everyone to give up one of life's luxuries. What would you give up?
Define a luxury.
Yeah.
Can use it in a sentence. What is the language of origin? Luxury. LU. I'm
Ooh.
That's crazy. No, I can't say that out.
Yo, what did you say? I want to know.
Whisper it to me.
But it's
Ooh.
the luxury.
For the cameraman escaping the frame.
One of life's luxuries.
Yo, like what are life's luxuries,
It
bro?
can be like an everyday thing that we even
Yeah, I
take for
know.
granted.
Yeah, that's the thing though. 'Cause depending on who you ask.
Yeah, that's why we all have different answers.
Damn.
No, but it's hard to think because,
Yeah, it is.
like, sometimes, and the reason why it's tripping me up is because something that I might not think is a luxury is actually a luxury. Right?
Yeah.
That's why
And it also might be something that I'm also willing to pass for world hunger. Like, if that is considered a luxury, take my cheese, it's fine. Like, you know what I mean? So, but like a luxury to me would probably be something that, like, indirectly is like super expensive.
Yeah.
So if I had to give up a luxury, I mean, if it's for world hunger, petrol prices need to fall. Yeah. So you can take the petrol, solve world hunger. Even take the petrol that you're sending me to solve world hunger, because that's enough money to solve the cases.
So we all gonna be on horses again.
We all,
Okay. I have one. Public holidays.
Yo. No.
Sorry.
Resigns views. There's only resigns views.
Public holidays.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's hectic.
You know what I'm saying?
The views expressed again on this podcast.
That's a lucky dog.
You do a lot for peace, bro.
The
I'm impressed.
views, that's a lot. That's a lot for peace.
Because like, what is your answer? You're not actually willing to make sacrifices.
Do you see? I gave cheese first. like cheese in my household at this point is a.
But like, look, his thing is also quite hectic because, like, if he has to go visit his family in Mauritius, it's price to row.
I have to row. I have to row.
All the way from here to there. That's hectic, bro.
Thank you, Lau. Thank you, Lau. Putting it.
Oh, yeah, I'm helping you.
No. He didn't say petrol is God. He said the petrol price. You were active listening. Negative marks, boy. Om te beklim toe.
Thank you, Lau. Thank you, Lau.
Appreciate you. I'm trying to help.
This is quite a question. It's
Yeah,
scared my
please.
brain.
Yeah, that's I'm like, make a sacrifice. Come on now. You stay, what's up?
Why you think?
Nah, because like at the same time, like the young people can now eat.
You're not Clark.
I'm standing on business. I'm a boyfriend and an uncle. I'm standing on business.
I think for me, my
That's a
biggest
tough question.
luxury currently is my own time. Yeah.
But that's rough.
No.
Giving up your own time.
For world hunger.
No.
I believe in that. If that's my contribution, I believe that we can all make big sacrifices for one end goal. I think it speaks to the team player that's at the back. But yeah, I think one of my biggest luxuries right now, I wouldn't give it all away. I'm going to say that's about
It's all or nothing approach, right?
Is it an all or nothing approach?
Because I was like my
Because he's answered all the public
my
questions.
honor,
He didn't just come for Youth Day.
Yeah.
If he gave Youth Day and we could solve all that,
Because guys, we still have weekends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I'm like, we still have weekends.
Yeah.
Excuse you, there's 2 days in the weekend. 1 day to do admin. Second day to try and find the other things that you can do.
But
there's only 2 days.
You don't have to worry about
There's
cooking.
only 2 days.
you don't have to worry about cooking though. So you have all this free time now.
What does you need to eat disappear?
The world hungers most. So how else? What do you mean?
I love how this went into
world
world
peace.
hunger, bro.
Sorry, world peace.
World hunger, bro.
I guess that's where I'm coming from. It's world peace. And for me, a luxury is something you have excess of. So one thing I've had to take stock of is that I do have more time, how I've navigated my life. So that's where it would be a luxury that I'd kind
Oh,
of
I have an honorable mention.
What's yours?
Pillows.
Yo.
Mm.
I give up the cinema, bro. Like movies.
I mean, I know we do that anyway. Sometimes.
No, but I like the cinema and movies is like my escape.
Yes.
Bro. They're like
Sounds like a need, my boy.
I mean, it is kind of
To
a
solve,
need, but like,
to give
it's a
all
luxury,
peace.
bro.
Yeah. No,
It's a
I
luxury.
hear you, Lau.
You can find
Thank
other
you.
things too.
It's like me giving up Spotify. No, I need Spotify.
No, but that's a luxury.
Green
bro.
noise, bro.
That's a luxury, bro.
It's a luxury, bro.
That's a luxury,
bro. Tell me how many panic attacks I've stopped with green noise. Like,
Bro, you can
that's
go sit
a
in
need.
nature and find green noise.
Can, bro. Like the drive for petrol that's expensive now.
For world peace, bro. You have to give up Spotify for world peace,
I'm
bro.
giving up Youth Day and Human Rights Day. Bro. Workers' Day, Heritage Day, aka Pride Day, off the list, my boy. Off the
So you're going
list.
to voluntarily sit out the next public holiday? Just
Listen, unpainfully.
So at the end of the show,
Yeah.
we do like to give our guests opportunities to do 2 things.
Hey,
Thing number 1.
here we go.
Please tell the people how they can get in contact with you, any social media handles, promotion pages. You can go ahead with that.
And also, any projects that you're working on that you want people to be made aware of.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity. If you want to collaborate, have me involved in one of your projects, my social media is probably the best place to reach out to me. On Instagram, it is Thania Koopman, my name, my surname, and my Flourish component is Flourish PTY. If you search that, you may have like a whole lot of other business lines. It's when I first started, I was like, I'm claiming all usernames that I can. So they are inactive, but the main one is Flourish. And we'll get to those ones later on, but I made sure I was storing
Just
them
in case it
Just in
comes.
case, you don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
And I think just watch both of those places to see where Flourish is going next. If I'm 110% honest, I have no idea where Flourish is going.
Yeah.
It's growing at a pace and in a space of its own. So yeah, just watch what I let you know on those platforms.
And then the second thing, and I think this is apropos, to provide a message to your younger self.
Sure.
Yeah. Any age.
I think my message would be, it's not that deep, and stop trying to prove your worth by the output that you put out there. Your worth is not anywhere. Your output of work is not indicative of who you truly are and the value that you can bring to a setting. I always thought it meant that you needed to be the star player in that way. And sometimes being the star player is just paying attention to what you need. So yeah, that's what I'd let her know. And to have fun. Have fun in anything you do. And I think that's my message for everyone. Have fun.
I'm so proud of Rizan. You made it all the way to the end. I think it is.
I do feel like, sorry, that like today you were not the class clown, you were the class president. And it's the evolution, I think. Again, big fan. Really proud of what you've accomplished.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best going forward. And continue to do it in a way that works for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So something we're also trying to do is hold up the mirror to ourselves. So, is there anything that you would like to ask us?
Anything, go crazy, go boss. Make us uncomfortable.
Am I allowed to pull a Rizan in F2?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because
This is your segment.
Okay. So
because you're worth
I
it.
also will be authentic and say that Big Sister had an input in one of these questions.
Love that. Let's go.
And we'll start with that one. Her question is, and I also would like to know the answer. What is it like working with your friends?
It's great.
Like, are there hiccup points? Like, it can't always just be rosy because workspace isn't rosy. So, like,
We haven't experienced the non-rosy.
No,
that
I
means
wouldn't
you're
say
good.
so. I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
I think the hardest thing is managing.
Jake's the one that pays. Sorry.
I think it's the hardest thing. What the actual act of us coming here
Never
and
mind.
us managing the things, that's fun. For all of us, we just committed for another reason. I think where it becomes difficult is the expectations of everyone. And by everyone, I mean you might want it to be in a certain space. I'm giving this amount. We're all giving what we can. But unfortunately, we can't be there because we don't have resources or whatever. Yeah. And I think that's where it does get tricky because it's fun working with everyone. I don't think that we can't deny.
yes.
It's just where we see ourselves is not necessarily always aligned. But we all, at all the times, we just compromise in that aspect. There's what happens is what happens. And I think what we realize is that as long as we focus on this, all of that will sort of figure itself out.
That's so interesting. JP, do you want to talk about this after the episode?
I love it. Okay, but then can I my second one
Here we go.
is what has been a mirror moment for you? And an example being, this was a mirror moment for me. And I was explaining this to JP before. When I was on started my healing journey, this podcast was a safety net for me.
Oh, we were crying before you.
And
Oh no, he's in a paper. Just explain what you said before you start.
So there was one evening, I was sitting with my friend in my garage, and my friends were the breeding ground for Flourish because they let me speak about this thing. And I said to them, I'm going to go speak on the GenC podcast. And then they still went into like mode where they wanted, how can we make it happen? And I was like, no, we're not going to make it happen. It's just going to happen. And that's what's going to happen. And then you sent me a DM like a couple of weeks ago while I'm driving. And it was a moment of like, whoa, like that hard work you're putting in, someone's seeing it, you're getting those opportunities now. So it was my mirror moment. So my question to you two is, have you had one of those?
No.
You can go, sir.
I think so. If I'm understanding the definition of mirror moment correctly, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gordon. No, so because we often speak about like why we started the space, and every single reason, rationale of why has been like answered.
Yeah.
We've exceeded our KPIs.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
And I don't know if you can classify it as a murder moment, but the Joe Barber episode was just
It was wild.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, it's just like, what?
Like I still can't believe that.
Like, I still say my now is wash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the whole existence of Cape Malay boy, Cape Colored boy. You know what I'm saying? That thing, Puta Joe. It's literally murder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That
And
was-
just like the conceit that in the future someone's gonna ask us as uncles to come and talk to them and gonna look up to us is wild. Because you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if that could be considered. But again, almost every single guest that we've had on has been like our cousin at some point. Like they just grew up in the same house as us.
Yeah.
And they've shared a story, they've had an experience that just like, oh yeah, this is why we do this.
Yeah.
This is why we are.
To answer your question, and it might sound cliche, but every time we invite someone, we have murder moments.
Yeah.
And it's largely because growing up, it was almost like a divisive thing in terms of I grew up this way, so I can't relate to you. Whereas with every type of guest and person we get to speak to, we realize that we're more alike than we give credit to. And I think highlighting what this platform has done is create that mirror and highlight it to people that regardless of circumstance or where you are, there are people like us out there in all spaces. And for us, a big thing about that is capturing it.
Yeah. I also have a question.
Loud.
No, it's a good question. Because we've now heard that she's the rules prefect and she's the fun prefect.
Yes.
What prefect were you guys? Because you guys were both prefects.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
I was Team Sarah, I was rules. I was a rules prefect. To my detriment, but I was the guy that told you to take off your white socks. I was the guy that went to take you to go shave.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was me. I was that guy.
It is I.
It is I.
JP gives off the police.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You resign.
No, I was yo. Can I even say stuff like this?
Statutes of limitations.
They used to get quiet for me because grade 8 and 9 used to come to the prefect room, is Thania, and then bring me sweets, bro. We had pigeonholes and they used to give me notes because, and like I wasn't doing anything particularly like, you know, I was just a fair person.
Yeah.
I'd be like, listen, you are breaking a rule. And I'm like, but like, do you understand what the damage is right now? If you had to tell me, for example, you're phoning your mom because you have an emergency, by all means, go crazy. But you're actually catching on with your phone.
Yeah.
I have to take it, big man. No ball games were allowed. You can play ball games as long as I'm supervising.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And if a teacher comes and catches you playing ball games, I'm going to stand up for you.
Yeah.
That was me.
Okay.
So we used to...
He was enforcing interpretations.
No, as in like, I was just man.
Yeah. There was
Because
just
wait. Let me cook. Just because something is legal doesn't mean it's right. Just because it's part of this code of conduct doesn't mean it works for everyone.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because children are supposed to play.
Yeah.
Children are supposed to play. You know what I'm saying? And obviously brought in the no ball games because we break windows.
Oh, yeah.
So, but you play hand tennis.
Yeah.
You're playing hand tennis. That's not going to break any windows. So that's how I'm like, you can play hand tennis, but I'm going to supervise. And you ask the prefect first, listen, I'd like to play hand tennis. Would you mind staying so that we don't get this ball confiscated and we don't get work squad? That is me.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I was the cool prefect. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I was not.
I was,
Unfortunately.
I was literally a cheerleader, bro. Like, come on, dog. I was first team basketball, first team hockey. Like, allow me.
I didn't have that. But thank you, Thania. Thank you for coming. Thank you for asking the questions, and thank you, Lau, for even
Maybe I'm so
more. And I think, again, thank you for allowing us to have this chat. I think we all learned a lot, and I think the fact that Rizan, I mentioned it earlier, but the fact that Rizan made it to the end with I think 2 moles of tears is a win for all of us.
It's a big
And if
job.
you like this kind of content, please do like, share, subscribe, and rate us on all the audio platforms. And we out. Peace.